Cavin Elizabeth, and I'm a wedding photographer based in San Diego, serving worldwide. And today I'm going to be telling you brides about the 5 things that you should do the week before your wedding. And these are all tips that are not only going to be kind of fun and exciting, but also are going to help you with your photos. So these things are little tiny, easy to do tips and actions that are going to give you a better look in photos. They're going to make you feel more confident, and they're just going to look better on camera. So the first tip is to get a manicure or do your own nails, whatever you want to do, as close as possible to the wedding date. For me personally, anytime I get a manicure, it always seems to chip away after like 3 days. So I know that for my own wedding, I'm either going to do my own nails, which seem to last longer than professional manicures for me, but whatever you want to do is fine. But I would say get it as close as possible to the rehearsal dinner or the wedding date, just to make sure that they really last you on the wedding day and they don't look chipped in photos, because that's not really a thing that's going to be photoshopped. So you want to make sure that your nails look good. If you do happen to chip one nail, just let your photographer know, so that anytime they're doing close-up shots, you kind of work to hide it, or you use the other hand, whatever you can do. Hopefully it's going to be your right hand if it chips, not your left hand. But just get a manicure, make yourself feel really good, take a little time to yourself, and your nails are going to look so much better on camera. I personally recommend solid colors. I find that the French tip look that sometimes looks a little bit too manufactured. So for me personally, I always think that just really natural, solid colored nails photograph best. That's my personal preference. If you like French tips, great. I just find that they are not quite as contemporary, and they do sometimes look a little bit too unrealistic and unnatural. I prefer a little bit more of a natural, organic look. My next tip is going to be hugely important for the entire wedding day, from your detail photos to close-up of your hands, whatever it may be. Clean your ring. Clean your ring as close to the wedding day as possible, preferably the night before or that morning. Keep them all somewhere safe, including your engagement ring. For me, I always tell my couples to keep the engagement ring and both of the wedding bands with the bride, so that I can photograph them. I don't want them with the groom until later, because I, as the lead photographer, want to make sure that I get all of my beautiful detail shots with all 3 rings, and I want them to be all cleaned. So make sure you clean your rings and then keep them somewhere safe to give to your photographer when they show up and want to take photos of your rings. This next tip is something that I actually ask my couples to do, but if your photographer isn't asking for this, that's okay, but this will be something they hugely appreciate, and that is the night before the wedding, gather all of your details that you want photographed. So your rings, your shoes, your jewelry, your veil, whatever it may be, some family heirlooms, make sure that you gather them and put them in one place, preferably in some sort of bag or just tidied in an area. And that way, when your photographer shows up, you can say hello and then point them to where your details are. They're all in one place. This saves us so much time. If I have to run around asking 10 different people where 10 different details are, that's going to take up several minutes of my time. Whereas if I could jump straight into the details, I can spend a lot more time styling them, making them look beautiful, and really taking my time with them. So I would rather spend that time photographing than spend that time gathering and asking people and finding things. So gather all of your important details in one place and have them ready for your photographer before they arrive, and they will thank you for it, and your photos will thank you for it. Another tip I have is to, if applicable, steam your wedding dress to make sure that there are no wrinkles in it, and do not wait until right before the wedding to do this. I have had brides before where they were trying to steam their dress, but I'm like, it's time to get in your dress. We're running a little bit behind. We need to get going. So do not wait till the last minute to do this. Preferably do it the night before, leave it hanging, or do it early enough in the morning so that you are not waiting on your dress to be finished when it is already time to be getting it on. Same goes for bridesmaids' dresses. This is not something that they should wait until the last second to do. It definitely should be done as soon ahead of time so that they are ready to go when they need to get into their dresses. You do not want to be waiting on somebody steaming their dress, because that can hold up your photos, and the more time that you lose out from photos, it just pushes the day further and further back. So if the getting ready portion of the day runs late, which it often does because hair and makeup runs late a lot, so that's a whole separate video that I can make at another point in time, but basically just don't be late for anything, because if things run late, then you might lose out on time from getting in the dress photos, or you might even lose out on time from first look photos, then portraits, and everything has to get shoved later in the day, or you just don't make it up at all. So definitely try to get little things like this done ahead of time so that they are not going to make you late for your wedding day, because you do not want to lose out on precious portrait time. My last tip for you guys is to make sure that you are taking care of yourself the week before the wedding. So that means hydrating really well, drinking a ton of water. It really helps your skin look so much fresher, and it will give it a glow, and you won't be quite so dull looking in certain areas the more water that you've had. Also, make sure to exfoliate, whether a couple days before the wedding or the day before. Test this out. Know how your skin looks a day after you exfoliate, or even 2 to 3 days after. This is something to experiment with, because the fresher your skin looks and the less textured it is with dry skin, the better your makeup is going to look on top of it. So if you're just applying makeup on top of a lot of different dry patches, that's not going to look as good as if your skin is smooth. You can even look into shaving your face. That is another technique to get your skin looking really, really smooth under your foundation. So again, test these things out. Make sure that if you're shaving your face, it doesn't break out the next day. That's the last thing you want. So try all these things out. Pick a weekend where you're not really seeing anybody, or you don't really care about it. So choose these different techniques and see how your skin responds, and if it does look better under your foundation. And that's really going to help you out with photos, because the smoother your skin looks in pictures, the better. Now, if you are prone to breakouts, I definitely recommend checking in with a dermatologist, seeing if there's anything that you can do. Maybe don't wear makeup the week leading up to the wedding if that's something that breaks you out. Maybe make sure you're getting all your vitamins. Again, hydrate. Do whatever you can to help your skin, and even if it's not perfect, as long as you put effort in and you feel more confident that it looks better than it did a week before, then you're going to feel so much better in your photos, and you're going to look better too. And part of this taking care of yourself is also making sure that you're getting enough rest. So I definitely don't recommend late nights, partying, whatever it may be, staying up super late. If you can get as much rest as possible, you are going to look and feel better on the wedding day. You'll just look fresher, you'll look more relaxed, you won't look tired, you won't have the under eye bags as much. So I really recommend hydrating, exfoliating, making sure your skin is in tip-top shape, and then also getting a lot of rest. These are hugely helpful things that a lot of people think aren't going to make a big effort in their plans to kind of look a little bit more like they want to look in their pictures, but I definitely think that they really help, especially if you do all of these things together, just to make sure that you are preparing your body to feel your best on your wedding day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!